Welcome everybody to this week's edition of Valpo Football Preview along with head coach Dave Cicchini. This is Todd Eichow. We first take a look back at what took place Saturday against Sacred Heart. Obviously a lopsided loss and not what you expected coming in.
No, we certainly hoped that we would give a better showing. We felt like we knew Sacred Heart was an outstanding football team. But we felt like it being our second week, a lot of our younger players would step up, we'd gel a little bit better on offense, and the defense would step up and make plays, and we really failed in all three phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams, although we made several good plays on special teams as well. And we knew we were in for a battle, but we didn't expect it to get away from us the way that it did.
Obviously, you felt coming in, all right, everything's got to go right. When we get opportunities, got to take advantage of them. Sure. And you did have a few opportunities early in the game, and maybe if you had scored, not saying you would have won the game, but it certainly could have been a lot closer game.
No question.
But those opportunities in the red zone, 3 in the first 18 minutes or so of the game came away empty. That had to be.
That was the big part. I think that set the tone for the day. We had our chances. We had on offense, we were given some good field position. We made a couple of plays, but we always seemed to follow up a big play with a critical error, a turnover or a sack or a penalty that negated the big play that we just had. And so we failed to capitalize early on. Had a nice punt return by Frank Katrine again. Had a great kickoff return by Jarrett Morgan, and we squandered those opportunities. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we didn't play very gap-sound defenses. We knew we were going up against a good offense, and we knew that we needed to force some 3-and-outs and force some turnovers. And while we did come up with a couple of nice stops, we gave up several big plays. And again, plays where we had guys in position, and they just didn't come up and make those plays.
All right, now let's take a look at where you guys stand. You lost 2 quarterbacks on Saturday, cheap shots, but whatever happened, as far as you guys are concerned, you're 2 quarterbacks down, at least going into the beginning of practice this week, and not knowing what you're going to have ahead for this weekend.
Yeah, well, that's the game of football. First off, we're not going to sit here and cry over spilled milk. This is what happens. People get injured, and so we've got both Dalton and Scott right now with concussions. So it looks like we don't know for sure at this time, but it looks like we won't have either of them for this Saturday's contest. So Ryan Clark will have to step up. Jake Paliga, freshman from Andrean High School. 2 very promising players. They're next in line, and we've been preparing those guys from day one, and we talk all the time to not just the quarterbacks but the entire team, as you never know when your opportunity is going to come. It's up to you to be ready, so when you do have that opportunity, you got to make the most of it.
There was talk that maybe Jake Paliga would redshirt this year. Mm-hmm. Is there a chance that if Ryan Clark can go the whole way against College of Faith, that Jake wouldn't play?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That may be something that we have to compromise. We may have to put him out there, and he's a good player. We're excited to get him out there, but all things being equal, we've got next year's situation. We would like it that we would have Ryan Clark going into his junior year of eligibility, Dalton Stokes going into his sophomore year of eligibility, and if we can redshirt Jake, he would be going into his freshman year of eligibility. So we would like to have that staggered. But that might be a luxury that we can't afford right now at this point in time. And I know Jake's excited, and he's ready to go and help the team in any way that he can.
As we look ahead, I guess on a positive note, you got these 2 outstanding scholarship teams that made the playoffs last year. They're out of the way.
Right.
Things are going to get easier, and obviously, maybe easier is not the best term, but at least for this Saturday, things should get easier. Talk about what's going on at College of Faith, how the game developed, and where their program is right now.
College of Faith is a program that this is their first year of football. And so they've got a lot of young players on the team. They've only played 1 game this year, a loss against McKendree. The game came about, we really added them very late to the schedule. We were originally supposed to play St. Joe's, a game that we were very much looking forward to. But their conference, St. Joe's conference, expanded, and their league decided to add an extra week of conference play, and that fell onto this Saturday's schedule. So St. Joe's was forced to drop us. So we were left a little high and dry in terms of searching for another opponent, and we wanted a competitive game, and College of Faith was who we wound up going with.
I guess you could have ended up playing another scholarship team and then looking at 3 incredibly difficult games to
Right.
start the season going into conference, and you didn't want to do that either.
Right, yeah, we love playing against teams. We're looking forward to playing Sacred Heart next year. They're also on our schedule. We'll be going to their place, and we do like that challenge. But playing 3 playoff caliber scholarship schools in a row and then jumping right into league play was just something that we didn't want to do.
Yeah, I mean, down the road, I'm guessing as the years go on, it's a perfect time leading into the conference to play like a Division II school or a good NAIA school, but that's not always easy to schedule.
Right, and that gets tougher and tougher each year with just the changing rules of college football and a lot of teams scheduling years, 4, 5, 6 years into the future, so that when something like this does come up on such short notice, there aren't as many teams out there looking for games.
All right, what are you hoping to see on Saturday?
Well, I think a return to fundamentals. We've got to gain some confidence, control the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively, and play sound football. Not beat ourselves with mental mistakes, protect the football on offense, force some turnovers on defense. Hopefully, if things go well, we're going to get a chance to get even more playing time for a lot of these young, talented freshmen. And regardless of who they play, whether it's a scholarship team or a team in its first year of football, they're getting that experience. And so if we can come out of this game a more confident team, more physical team, we're going to be better for it.
Real quick, after the game on Saturday, very disappointing, obviously. Maybe give us an idea of the message, the tone. What did you see from the kids after the game ended, and what were some of the things you stressed?
Yeah, well, we talked a lot about going into the game about this being a challenge where we could kind of show the world our identity. Who are we as a football program? Where are we at right now? And really stress that every play you've got to prove yourself, and you're going to send a message when the opponent turns on that film the following day and watches Valparaiso's offense or defense or special teams. What are they going to say about us? What type of team are we? And right now we are a team that's very young. We're very uneven. And we're going through growing pains. We kind of knew that coming along, but we were hoping to be farther along now than where we were on Saturday. So that's a big stress for us this year, this week, in terms of, hey, we're finding a way to correct those mistakes, get the right 11 guys out there on offense, get the right 11 guys out there on defense who are going to go out there and compete every single play, mentally tough, physically sound, and win ourselves a football game.
All right, good luck this Saturday.
Thanks.
For head coach Dave Cicchini, this is Todd Eichow. Thanks for joining us this week on Valpo Football Preview.